do to make sure we fortified as a unit, but don't leave me mortified. If you'd have kept it 100, a brother would be more than fine. Gave you more than time, gave you some peace of mind. That's why I got some qualms about the way you treated mine. You came close to doing damage to my third eye.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. As I mentioned in the comments, I'm taking suggestions for video ideas, and I got a recommendation by Sir Moon to do an apocalyptic top 10. As such, I would like to thank Sir Moon for the idea. If this video helps you out, or if you simply want to help, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe if you're a fan of anime, manga or manhwa. And if you want to be featured in a video, drop your recommendation of what top 10 I should do next. Without further delay, let's get into the top 10. Number 10 comes with Mosquito War. Mosquito War takes place 100 years after mosquitoes have evolved into Earth's deadliest predators, nearly wiping out humanity. With only 5,000 people left alive, the world's final hope lies in an elite team of special soldiers on a desperate mission to recover secret research that might turn the tide. But as they battle through swarms of monstrous mosquitoes, shocking truths about evolution, survival and sacrifice begin to surface. This manhwa was a roller coaster, way more intense and bizarre than what I expected. I thought it would be just soldiers versus mutant bugs, but it turned into a wild, bloody and unpredictable ride. But what really got me was the world building. It's such a nice and different theme and so well executed. Wouldn't expect less from the author who wrote The Boxer. Besides all of that, this work is completed, and if I say so myself, with a great ending. You definitely have to check it out. The official translation is over at Webtoon. In number 9 we have A Monstrous First Day. Han Seong-moon is a young secretary who unexpectedly becomes the youngest assemblyman in South Korea after his rival's sudden arrest. Just as he's getting sworn in and thinking life can't get any better, chaos literally crashes down. A monster falls through the National Assembly's roof. Soon, mysterious blue gates appear across Seoul, unleashing horrifying creatures, and Seong-moon must use his political wits, strategy and quick thinking to navigate both politics and an apocalypse. This manhwa is pure peak politics. It's not your typical gate opens, hunters appear story that skips years of setup. Instead, it takes you step by step through the world's collapse, from before the gates open to every crucial moment after. Think about it this way. In other manhwas you see a bunch of guilds and hunters association type of stuff. This manhwa would be something like, how did we get to that point? The political intrigue, strategy and depth are unmatched. 100% a very worthwhile story, so head over to Tapas to read the official translation. Number 8 comes with Hiding Out in an Apocalypse. Gyu Park is a survivor who actually predicted the end of the world and prepared for it in advance. When the apocalypse hits, he retreats into his bomb shelter, ready to protect what is built at all costs. The story doesn't start with chaos. Instead, it begins when Gyu decides to retire underground, leaving behind his violent past on the front lines. From there, each chapter feels like a journal entry, slowly revealing his past while showing his struggles to adapt to a quieter but no less dangerous world. What makes this manhwa stand out is his tone. The main character isn't overpowered. He's skilled, logical and detached, but also trying to be better. It's not packed with non-stop action, but rather thoughtful, well-paced storyline. It's a calm, grounded apocalypse read. Definitely something out of the ordinary considering the genre, but nonetheless incredible. So run to Webtoon to read the official translation of this amazing work. In number 7 we have Frozen Frontiers, also known as Arctic Cold War. This work kicks off right at the start of a glacial apocalypse. The world is freezing over, humanity is on the brink of extinction, and our protagonist just got killed by his crush. But then he suddenly comes back to life, with a strange superpower. Not only that, he returns to a few months before the world freezes. As he tries to survive this icy wasteland, danger is everywhere, but he's determined to carve out his own life in this frozen new world. If you have read something like Global Freeze, this work is pretty much the same, added a new superpower. But what makes it stand out is the art. The art is incredibly clean, and to be honest, the story is not that bad either. Of course, it has the usual tropes and other stuff that you would see in this type of work, but I didn't actually hate it. The art is sharper, the pacing is smoother, and the power system is way more creative and fun to follow. The concept might sound goofy at first, but it's very well executed. If you enjoy apocalypse stories with a unique survival twists and strong visuals, this one is absolutely worth checking out. No official translation at the moment. Number 6 comes with Hiding a Warehouse in the Apocalypse. Hiding a Warehouse follows Jung Gyeom, an ordinary man trapped in a warehouse during a sudden apocalypse. While the world outside collapses, he awakens a strange power, the ability to store anything in a parallel dimension. Using this skill, he sets out into a ruined Seoul filled with deadly monsters and scattered survivors determined to find his missing family. But as he explores, he realizes the truth behind this apocalypse is far more complex than it seems. This manhwa is a refreshing twist on the usual apocalypse genre. Instead of selfish survivors and endless betrayal, it shows genuine human cooperation and heartwarming moments. The main character is a smart, cautious protagonist who balances kindness with survival instincts, and the world building is creative with tons of potential. It's an actually very well made work, so much that I couldn't guess where it was leading, and I was pleasantly surprised when I read the latest chapters. An underrated gem among apocalypse stories, so give it a read to the official translation at Webtoon. In number 5 we have Seolsu Saves the World. Seolsu is an ordinary Korean officer worker whose life changes when a massive asteroid destroys Earth. Miraculously, he is given the chance to go back in time and prevent the catastrophe. Each loop spans 20 years, and Seolsu must carefully plan and strategize to alter humanity's fate while learning from each failure. The story blends sci-fi, time loop mechanics, and careful planning in a high-stakes survival setting. Now, I do gotta admit, this work is not exactly apocalypse. The main character goes back in time so he can avoid the apocalypse. As such, you won't see any zombies or monsters. But I would still consider it an apocalypse nonetheless. Unlike many hero return stories, it feels fresh, focusing on strategy and sci-fi rather than status or power fantasies. The characters aren't the most emotionally deep, and some plot reveals are sudden, but the pacing, mysteries, and clever plans keep it engaging. The art improves over time, but the story itself is the highlight. If you enjoy time loops in sci-fi, this is a must-read. Fun, thrilling, and incredibly well-paced. So head over to Manta Comics for the official translation. Number 4 comes with The End is a Game to Me. The End is a Game to Me follows Seon Sun-go, a shut-in NEET who spends his days gaming and streaming to a single loyal viewer. But everything changes when he's suddenly pulled into a real-life survival game where the only rule is simple: stay alive. With cameras rolling 24/7, Seon-soo must use his gaming instincts to navigate deadly challenges, outsmart other players, and survive in a world where every move is broadcast for all to see. Now for my thoughts. I've read all the chapters so far, and honestly, it's really good. The pacing feels natural, the tension builds steadily, and the characters are surprisingly well written for this type of story. It has that perfect mix of action and strategy that keeps you hooked from chapter to chapter. Also, the idea and concept as a whole really interested me. Definitely a work that stuck on my mind and made me come back multiple times to reread it. If you want to give it a chance, head over to Webtoon for the official translation. In number 3 we have The First Hunter. The First Hunter takes place in a world thrown into chaos after monsters suddenly appear across the globe. A small portion of humanity awakens special powers to fight back, and among them is Taehyun Kim, a former special force soldier with deadly skills and unmatched instincts. His military experience makes him one of the strongest hunters alive, but everything changes when a mysterious artifact foretells him his death is in the near future. Now, Taehyun must battle both monsters and fate itself to protect humanity and rewrite his destiny. This story is straightforward but effective, focusing on global destruction and humanity's struggle to survive. Taehyun is a strong, stoic protagonist, whose second chance at life becomes his path to redemption. His growth feels natural and the action scenes are intense and satisfying. It's a great mix of military grit, monster slaying, and emotional depth. A solid read for anyone that enjoys apocalyptic action manhwas. The official translation is over at Webtoon. Number 2 comes with Sweet Home. This work needs no introduction, but still, here it goes. Sweet Home follows a reclusive high school student who loses his family in a tragic accident. Struggling with isolation and grief, he suddenly finds himself trapped in an apartment complex as the world around him collapses. A mysterious virus turns people into terrifying monsters that reflect their deepest desires and fears. Now, alongside a small group of survivors, he must fight to stay alive and uncover the truth behind this horrifying transformation before humanity is completely wiped out. The story is incredibly engaging, focusing more on the emotional and psychological struggles of survival rather than just the monsters. The tension builds beautifully, leading to one of, if not the best endings I've seen in manhwa. My only real criticism is the limited world building. The story mostly takes place in just a few apartments, and I wish we would learn more about the virus itself. Still, Sweet Home delivers gripping horror, emotion, and character depth that makes it unforgettable. And even though most of you have probably read it, if by any chance you haven't, make sure you go to Webtoon today for the official translation. And in number 1 we have Return Survival. Return Survival begins after the world has already ended. 3 years after the zombie apocalypse, the main character dies, only to wake up 6 months before it all began. Given a second chance, he's determined to survive and change his fate. Unlike other apocalypse stories where the hero gains game-like powers, this one focuses on pure human grit, strategy, and leadership. As the world collapses, he prepares, builds alliances, and slowly becomes the center of a new community fighting to live against both zombies and other survivors. I'm a sucker for second chance stories, but this one stands out for how realistically it handles the apocalypse. The pacing is perfect, his preparation doesn't drag on, yet feels complete and believable. The community building aspect gives the story real depth, showing the fine line between heroism and ruthlessness. He's both a hero and a villain, and that's exactly what makes this manhwa so compelling. Highly recommend you giving this a chance since it's also a completed work. Head over to Copin Comics for the official translation. Now guys, this was the top 10 apocalyptic manhwa. Did you find any manhwa that you haven't read yet? Did you like it? If this video helped you in any way, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to activate the bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.